Let's start with the Yankees. Yankee fan is not happy. Actually, there's some different fans of all those teams that are not happy. Yankee fans are going after Hal Steinbrenner, the owner. They're going after Brian Cashman, the general manager. Yankees have a payroll of $304 million. And the fans are asking this question with their first full workouts down in Tampa right now. Yankee fans want to know how you could have a $304 million payroll, feel good about your team, but having lost an MVP like Juan Soto. And they want to know, if you're rich and have a $304 million payroll, how come you never signed Sasaki or any other star from Japan? And by the way, if you're so bleeping brilliant with all the money you got to spend at Yankee Stadium, how come you don't have any top farm prospects? Why is your organization listed as far down the poll as it is? Yankee fan not happy, although I tend to think it's a pretty decent team because they took the Soto money and rearranged it other places. But Yankee fan not happy. And then you go to Houston, where they don't like Jim Crane, the owner. Now they lose Alex Bregman. And prior to that, they traded away Kyle Tucker, who was about to be a free agent. And before that, they let go of a whole number of pitchers led by Justin Verlander. And they got a roster of arms. Most of them are coming off all kinds of surgery. They're not happy with what Houston Astro baseball looks like right now. Toronto. Is it Tuesday yet? Tuesday is the deadline. Vlad Guerrero, who's coming off a monster season, .323 batting average, ton of home runs. He's a walk-free agent. Vlad Guerrero gave the Blue Jays till Tuesday night in Dunedin, Florida, come to terms on a contract extension, or I won't talk anymore, and then I'm probably going to be a free agent. Well, they offered him a $340 million package, and he rejected it. Now, he made $28 million this past season. I was told he wants in excess of $40 million per campaign. That's where the Blue Jays are. And the Blue Jays tried really hard. They tried to get Ohtani really hard a year ago. They tried to move him back into the market this season to get Soto. Didn't happen. It's almost as if guys just don't want to go play in Toronto. So now the Blue Jays got a problem because Bo Bichette is a walk free agent. He hasn't been signed. And obviously, Guerrero's stock has rocketed. And Toronto could really be in big trouble.
They missed out on Sasaki, too.
Yes. St. Louis. Speaking of being angry, they should really be angry at John Mozeliak. He runs the whole Cardinal baseball side. They opened camp on the weekend. Nolan Arenado showed up after they spent the entire winter trying to trade him. Now, he's got a huge amount of money left on the final 2 years of his Cardinal contract. That becomes an issue. You add into the equation the situation that Arenado's got a massive no-trade clause, and there's only 5 teams or 6 teams he's willing to accept a deal to go to, and half those teams can't take on the kind of contract that he's got. So it's a big issue. Arenado showed up, good attitude. I'm here. I'm your third baseman. I am a Cardinal. Not going to talk about this anymore. If they want to trade him, they'll come to him with an offer to waive his no-trade clause, but at this point, has not happened. This is a St. Louis team that hasn't done crap in the offseason. This is a St. Louis team with great heritage. Used to draw $3 million every year, go to the playoffs every year, and now they're not drawing $3 million, and they're trying to get rid of Arenado after having lost Paul Goldschmidt. Not a lot of happiness there. And then there's the New York Mets, and suddenly the shine has gone off the signing of Juan Soto. He's there. He's happy. He's joyous. He's got the contract in his pocket. They have no pitching. Now they lost Frankie Montas, who's going to be their number 2 starter. This guy was an ex-A's, ex-Yankee, ex-Red. When he's been healthy, he's been pretty competitive. Can't stay healthy. He has now shown up at camp with an injured lat shoulder they didn't even know about. He's going to be gone a minimum of 8 weeks. Those type of injuries usually take 3 months to heal. The Mets pitching staff is really wafer thin. And their fans aren't real happy either because they don't think it's a complete roster. Juan Soto's walking around saying, this is great. That's because Juan Soto got his money.
Yeah.
Juan Soto, have you looked at your starting rotation? Led by the Japanese pitcher Kodai Senga, who missed half of last season with injuries. And he's back, but we don't know if he stays healthy because he's had problems too. You got a lot of unhappy baseball fans posted up there on the board. John, you went looking for all the negative stories you could find. Go ahead.
I think there's a lot of it is what's going on with the Dodgers, because every one of these teams is comparing themselves to the Dodgers roster, and that's why they're so disappointed. But with the Yankees, we talked about how they signed who is the Max Fried, Cody Bellinger. There's a couple other guys.
Yeah, they took the money that Soto turned down and they handed it to 4 or 5 different guys. But at the end of the day, no Japanese stars. End of the day, where the hell's the farm system? None of that's happened. And some of those pitchers have got a history of injury issues. I mean, I do like the Yankees rotation, but can they keep all those guys on the mound? Big issue.
Well, if you really think about it, the American League is nowhere near as competitive as the National League. I mean, because you got Baltimore and the Yankees. The central teams aren't going to compete. Houston has taken a big step back in the West. There's nothing going on over there in the American League like the Dodgers, like the Padres, like the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Mets. I mean, we can go crazy over here in the National League.
So you're telling Yankee fans, shut the bleep up and just enjoy what you got.
Exactly. You're going to probably make the World Series. You're going to be fine. And yeah, they'll reload. That's not a problem. And then, I expect Soto is going to get a lot of heat this year. You were talking about fans are going to boo the Dodgers. Fans are going to be booing Soto.
Well, if dude's hitting 236, because I don't think they got a hell of a lot around him, even though they signed the polar bear back and they got Francisco Lindor. God, they're going to have to hit like hell because the pitching staff to me looks just very, very thin. And like I say, now they got the starter 2 is already gone.
Now, do they have Sean Manaea over there? Didn't they re-sign him?
Yeah, he found the fountain of youth last year, but does that duplicate itself again?
I hope so. I mean, you're kind of going back to more of these Oakland A's pitchers, but yeah, they're still loaded. They're still a good team, even with a shaky pitching staff.
Okay, that's all things baseball. You got a reaction? Feel free to pile in, pile on, throw us a curveball. Don't be afraid, though, if I hit a line drive right back through the box with my answer. But go ahead. Fans Forum chat box is open because we do cover baseball on this show.